Well guys, it actually happened. Just a few days ago, the Pokemon Company put out a tweet on their official account saying, "The next Pokemon Presents arrives soon, trainers. Tune into our official YouTube channel at 6 a.m. Pacific time on August 8th for 35 minutes of Pokemon news and updates." So yeah, I made a video just a few days ago talking about how a Pokemon Presents was leaked for August 8th through the code of Pokemon Masters, and people were finding stuff in there, and that turned out to be exactly true. So yeah, it pretty much wasn't really that surprising. Like, we get August Pokemon Presents pretty often, so it wasn't really surprising to think that there was going to be one happening this year. But yeah, now we have the official confirmation, and it's going to be happening in just 2 days from the time that I upload this video. Now, of course, I will be streaming this Pokemon Presents on my Twitch as well, so definitely go ahead and give me a follow on twitch.tv/actualaero. I'll have it linked below in the description and the pinned comment. I'd love to see you guys there, and we can watch this all together. And so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about some of the predictions that I have for what we could expect to see inside of this Pokemon Presents, as this is actually going to be, believe it or not, the longest Pokemon presentation of all time, as I'm pretty sure the one before this one was the one that happened in August of 2021, where that Pokemon Presents was like 30 minutes, and it gave us a pretty good amount of information with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and a big trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus, but this one's going to be even 5 more minutes longer than that, so I'm interested to see what this one could have, because it's possible this could be really cool and it could have a lot of good stuff in it, but it could also be like fillery and just not really have like a lot of exciting stuff, and it could be pretty boring for like 30 minutes, and then only like the last 5 minutes are really cool. But I am interested to see what they could have. Now, one of the things that everybody noticed when this Pokemon Presents was announced is this little teaser video that they have for it, which shows the Pokemon Presents logo kind of like glitching out with this purple neon effect. And a lot of people are wondering what exactly this could mean. Now, there's a lot of like crazy theories that people have, like maybe this could somehow be like related to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness or something like that. I don't think that that's the case. In fact, I actually saw somebody talk about how this was done before for another Pokemon Presents, and it ended up being like a Mewtwo raid event. So I guess that's probably what this is going to be if we're thinking about this logically. Like, maybe they're just bringing back like a special big Mewtwo raid event or something like that again. So that's why they're just trying to hype that up again. And to the Pokemon Company, like, Mewtwo's like a whole crazy big deal to them. So I guess that's why they're kind of setting it up to be like this exciting thing. But in reality, I don't think that this is going to be like anything super crazy to make you jump out of your seat. I'd love to be wrong, but I feel like it's probably just going to be something like that. Now let's talk about the obvious stuff. We're definitely going to see some type of update here for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. So when it comes to the hidden treasure of Area Zero, there is still so much information that we do not know about this DLC at all. Like, we've gotten little teasers and areas that are shown to us, like the last Nintendo Direct showed us like a little bit of the areas inside of the DLC. We got to see some of the characters and stuff, but we really have no idea exactly what the entire premise of this DLC even is. Like, what exactly is happening with the story, what's our objective. So I'm really hoping that this Pokemon Presents really kind of gives us a deep dive into the DLC, and we can actually get to see kind of the gameplay for it, what it's going to be like when you're playing around it, some of the areas, what we're going to be doing and all of that. So it should be pretty exciting in that sense. And I also hope that we actually get to see like the release date for this as well, because right now we still don't know exactly when these DLCs are coming out, and it's already different than the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield, because you had the Isle of Armor, which actually came out around this time. You already had it out because it was out in the summer, and then you had the Crown Tundra, which came out in the winter in like October. But for this DLC with Gen 9, they're just having one come out in the fall and one come out in the winter. So I'd like to actually get some release dates for that and know, like, you know, are we getting one of them in like September and October, and then the other ones in like November or December? Are they only just going to be like a month apart from each other? Why exactly are there going to be these DLCs so close to each other? I've seen some people theorize that maybe these DLCs are actually going to be like more connected to each other, where you're going to play the first DLC and then the second DLC that comes out is actually going to be a continuation and like a sequel of that DLC. That was actually rumored like when these DLCs even got announced. So that would be really cool, because the Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor were very separate from each other. So that would be pretty interesting if that's true. And then in terms of other Pokemon related updates, the last Nintendo Direct finally revealed Detective Pikachu Returns, which was the sequel to Detective Pikachu on the 3DS, and that got announced like way back in 2019, so it is exciting that that's finally going to be coming out this year in October. So maybe we could get like a new trailer for that and some information about it inside of this Pokemon Presents. Now, of course, the game that actually leaked this entire Pokemon Presents in the first place, Pokemon Masters, there's no way that that's not going to be inside of this Pokemon Presents, and I think that the way that it got leaked was actually they were going to add Nemona into the game or something, so I feel like this Pokemon Presents will probably touch upon that, talk about Nemona, get to see a little bit of gameplay, and I think they said it was going to release after this Pokemon Presents is over, so it makes perfect sense to me. Now, in terms of other announcements, the one thing that I would love to see, I made a tweet about this, was since earlier this year Nintendo announced Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, I would love to see the Pokemon Company officially announce that like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and then for the Game Boy Advance have like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and Leaf Green and Fire Red, because I think that would be so cool to just have these insane like main series Pokemon games just available on your Nintendo Switch to be able to play whenever you want. It makes me feel old saying this, but there's so many Pokemon fans who have never even experienced any of like the GBA games or like the Game Boy Color games or any of these old school Pokemon games, so they would be experiencing these for the first time as well. And they did add these to Virtual Console on the 3DS. We did have like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then even Gold, Silver, and Crystal, which got announced in the future, so I think it would be great to have them on the Switch as well. So hopefully they make this announcement, but I feel like it is kind of a little unlikely to happen. But speaking of things that are even more unlikely, I would love to see this Pokemon Presents actually have like new spin-off game announcements that are coming to the Nintendo Switch and not like mobile games or anything like that, but I feel like they're probably not going to do this at all. I would love to be wrong and they actually show us like a brand new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game coming to the Nintendo Switch, or Poke Park 3 or something like that a lot of people would love to see, like an XD Gale of Darkness port or something like that, but I just feel like those types of spin-off announcements aren't really going to be inside of this Pokemon Presents, as pretty much all of their main attention is going to be focused on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC. But then again, you never really know, because remember, the first Pokemon Presents that ever happened was about the Isle of Armor, I'm pretty sure, and they still announced new Pokemon Snap inside of that, so it would be really insane if they actually did something like that inside of this, but I'm not really expecting it. And then of course, one of the biggest rumored Pokemon games that so many people are excited for is this Unova game that's apparently going to be like a futuristic Paradox Unova game, and it's going to be coming out next year supposedly for the Nintendo Switch, and a lot of people are very excited for this game, but I'm definitely sure that this game is not going to be shown or even teased inside of this Pokemon Presents at all, because they don't want to drive any attention away from this Pokemon Presents, focusing on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, so I'm not really expecting to see anything like that about this Unova game inside of this presentation, but we're probably going to see it inside of the Pokemon Presents that's going to happen on Pokemon Day early next year in February, because that's when they're probably going to reveal like the big games that are coming out for 2024, and that's when we can see this. But if you are interested in more information about this rumored Unova game that's supposedly going to be coming out next year, I will have some videos linked below in the description, and I'll put them in the outro of this video if you want to learn some more details about what we can expect. But yeah, there you go guys, those are pretty much all of my predictions for the upcoming Pokemon Presents. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button, and also subscribe to the channel as well, as I'm going to be having more Pokemon videos in the future. Comment down below and let me know what your predictions are for this Pokemon Presents as well. What would you guys really like to see? Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.